Well, now we welcome back business advisor Catherine Cook from the Engine, along with Alannah Stewart, partner from accounting firm Walker Wayland, to discuss why cash really is king. Good morning to you both. Great to see you.
Hi, Kelly.
Thanks for coming in, Alannah. Great to meet you too. But before we get into this, I understand you ladies go way back handling cash. Tell us more, Catherine.
Well, Alannah, I don't know if we should say, but Alannah and I first met, we won't say how many decades ago, but we were at Food Town, Birkenhead, and I guess you could say that we were always going to be working around people and cash. So, oh my God, time for me to leave?
You might have just aged yourself by using the word Food Town. We haven't had one of those stores around for quite a wee while now. Catherine, how important is cash for business?
Oh look, extremely important. If you think of it like your health, if you're not well, then nothing happens, and the same with business. Cash is what keeps you well. So you know, if you've got turnover, people go, "I've got lots of turnover." Well, that's just vanity. That's ego, and you know, obviously profit is sanity, but cash is reality. That's what keeps the doors open.
And Alannah, we often hear the phrase that cash is king, and clearly we all need money to put food on the table. But what does it mean in a business sense?
Well, in a business sense, it's literally just an extension of that. People don't always go into business just for fun or to sell a product for no return. They actually need an income for themselves. They need to be able to put food on the table for their family. So to have cash coming in regularly is really, really important. If they don't, how are they going to do that? How are they going to pay their wages, pay their expenses, pay their tax, pay their debt, and fund expansion?
All those questions, yeah. So Alannah, if I have got a fabulous business idea, I've done my research and I know there is demand, what next? What do I do?
Well, firstly, you need to get your structure right at the start, the business structure that's going to work for you going forward. It's probably a conversation for another day, but if you get that set up right at the start, it will see you right. So it will provide protection for your assets, it will provide legitimate tax savings, and it will get the structure there for you to hand the business on to the next person that comes along.
Oh, that is so great advice. Often we want to just jump before we can swim, or we sink. All that, those analogies. Yeah.
Exactly. So the second thing is that you need to do a cash flow. You've obviously got to make sure that the business is going to fly before you start, and you need to know your break-even number and your profit number.
Right, and so can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Absolutely. So we think that you need to know how much you need to sell in order to firstly break even, secondly make a profit. So the way that you do that is do a bottom-up budget basically. So you say, okay, I've got this much that I need to make in debt repayments, I have this much in fixed costs, therefore working backwards I know how many sales I have to make. So for example, if you sell shoes, you can work out how many pairs of shoes you need to sell every single week just to break even, and then of course you want to make a profit as well. So you build your profit factor into that, and again build it back up so you know where you stand.
Oh, that is such a basic but clever and fundamental model to ensure that you're not sort of underselling yourself or not breaking even. Catherine, how often then should a business be reevaluating their cash flow?
Well, it's really important. I talk to all my businesses about around the 5th of every month, getting out your profit and loss.
Every month?
Every month, yeah. Getting out your profit and loss, your aged debtors, your aged payables, and comparing it to your forecast. You'll be able to see where there's over expenditure, you'll be able to see where perhaps sales haven't been met and where you've got to catch up. If we don't have those meetings every month, then we're constantly in catch-up mode, trying to catch up. So
I'm just blind. I'm blind. You know, like I just put my head in the sand, but catching up every month, you'd be so much more accountable.
Well, absolutely, and you are accountable. You have duties as a director, so it's really, really important that you actually understand the numbers. And for every person that says to me, my accountant knows the numbers, that doesn't work anymore. You actually need to understand your numbers, because the accountant isn't going to be able to cover the shortfall for you with the IRD, with the bank for your mortgage.
You can't make those numbers work.
And they want to be paid as well as, So the reality is that you do need to be looking at it monthly And then you can plan with your sales team. So the sales team needs to know that they've got to get out there and sell more, or if you are the salesperson, you need to get out there and sell more.
Yeah, the last thing you want is your accountant ditching you, then perhaps they know something that you should have figured out a long time ago. Just to recap, Alannah, what are your top tips for businesses regarding cash flow?
The top tips are really get your structure right to start with. Then make sure you review that regularly because your circumstances do change. Get your cash flow correct to start with, your profit and loss, your cash flow forecast and your balance sheet. And circumstances can change really, really quickly as this year has shown us. So keeping on top of that is really important. And thirdly, just make sure you've got really, really good systems. Make sure your invoicing is done on time. Make sure you chase up your debtors. And these are internal systems, not just accounting systems and databases. This is you guys actually making an effort to make sure you've got that cash coming in the door to keep you going.
We get all those things covered and then we're setting ourselves up for our best possible chance of having a profitable business, right?
Absolutely.
And Catherine, any final thoughts from you? Would you like the last word?
Well, yeah, I agree with everything Alannah said, but just know your numbers, be proactive and invest in having a good sounding board, either an accountant or a business advisor.
Wonderful advice, ladies. Thanks so much. I've learned so much from you both today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And for more small business advice, you can get in touch with Catherine at theengine.biz, and to contact Alannah and the team at Walker Wayland, head to the website www.auckland.co.nz.